The pace of innovation has been actually dizzying. It has been very, very fast. Many of the products that our customers are creating are actually things that have a shelf life of less than a year.
So Arun, in your job here at Mathworks, you oversee communications, electronics, and semiconductors.
Yep.
It's been an interesting decade for sure. The last couple of years have been pretty good. What are you seeing now in terms of the business? What are you seeing in terms of innovation? What are you seeing in terms of how engineering teams are trying to get more productive?
Innovation is going on in every industry, but in specifically the industries that I've been looking at, communications, as you mentioned, electronics, semiconductors, office equipment, the pace of innovation has been actually dizzying. It has been very, very fast. Many of the products that our customers are creating are actually things that have a shelf life of less than a year. You look at cell phones and how fast each generation of cell phones are coming through, what goes on into those cell phones in terms of operating systems, processors, designs. It has been really a phenomenal thing to watch, and also pretty interestingly play a role in providing tools that help the engineers that are designing these tools be productive, create those innovative products at the pace that their customers are demanding.
So how are design teams using MATLAB and Simulink to do their jobs better?
The design tools that they are using, including tools that Mathworks creates, such as MATLAB and Simulink, are allowing them to create designs that actually take components of various domains. So there is a physical domain where I can put a micro electromechanical system module inside my overall system design for a wireless communication system, model it, simulate it, try and find what kind of issues I might run into when I actually get this to production, identify those issues, and address them in a much more productive manner.
So for many years we've written about hardware, software, co-design, and part of that was a cultural challenge within engineering department. How is that cultural shift improving?
Yeah, that's a great question. It is absolutely, like you said, it's a cultural thing. It's almost a religious thing where hardware teams are doing hardware design, software teams are doing software design. Many cases, even these days, those happen in silos. Those happen without really a strong connection or a communication between those teams. And what we are seeing is the business pressures or the customer demands on these companies are so large that they really have no choice but to actually change the way they do system design. So hardware and software are very, very intricately related these days. You cannot really design one without having a clear understanding of the other. And more importantly, the design teams are now forced to design them at the same time. Our tools and other system design tools, for example, are allowing engineering teams to create hardware and the related software together in the same design or in the same design environment and see how those things play together. And these days it is a business requirement. It's no longer acceptable to say that's not how we work. They have to change.
What's the industry's biggest challenge today?
Industry's biggest challenge, at least from the Mathworks perspective, is really a designs and design flows getting to the next stage of productivity. Engineers and engineering are a very expensive commodity even now, and how can we get our engineers and engineering teams to be more productive? How can we accelerate the pace at which they get innovation done? That's really what we are seeing as the fundamental challenge. I don't think that's specific to our industry or the industries that I care about, but as I mentioned in my opening remark, the communications, electronics, semiconductors are really like a microcosm of what's going on. They are among the industries where the innovation or the change is at at the highest in terms of rate of change. You know, the rate at which things are changing in these industries is really mind-boggling.